Good morning, Love Tribe. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm doing a pile that I've never done before. It's going to be a pick-a-pile reading, and it's all about what is the karmic lesson in this situation. Now, guys, you can get so creative with this. I mean, literally, because I think I'm going to channel more than one karmic situation in each pile. You can ask, if you're a twin flame and you're divine masculine or divine feminine is in a karmic situation, you can set your intentions for finding out about that. Or you can ask about your karmic bond to somebody that you believe is a karmic connection. You can ask about your job, because we learn karmic lessons in all different situations in our lives, in friendships, all different relationships, actually. So set your mind, set your intention. Let me light my candle real quick, because we need to have a little ambiance here, and I'm going to clear some space. And so I'm going to show you your piles. We have pile number 1, I'm using the dice this morning. Pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now remember, I'm going to try to channel different, I'm going to follow what Spirit says, actually. If there's more than one message, then you can pick more than one pile. Or you can pick the same pile for different situations, okay? So choose your pile, 1, 2, or 3. I'm a little bit in a hurry this morning. I was supposed to have this video up and posted yesterday, but I got some really sad news about a friend that passed away. And and I had during the live feed, I had offered to do personal check-ins, and I had all of those to catch up on. So, pile number 1. These cards here are going to be your advice from Spirit. And these cards here are going to help me to interpret. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Help me to interpret what is the karmic lesson in this relationship. Okay, we have 7 of Pentacles. It says re-evaluation. Oh, we have 5 of Wands. Oh, and we have the Master. I'm getting a message already. All right, and in the attributes, you guys were lucky. All your attributes came out in the upright. So we have the Poet. Express soul insights in symbolic language. We have the Samaritan. Light attribute. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. And oh, look at that. We have leadership. It's number 18, which breaks down to a 9. And then we have strengthen your gifts. And sanctuary. Cave. So what is the karmic lesson for this relationship? Well, with the 7 of Pentacles, the Master, the Samaritan, the Poet, leadership, gifts, sanctuary. So in this sanctuary, I am seeing this guy drawing on the cave walls. And in the 7 of Pentacles, reevaluation, this looks... Now, I know the 7 of Pentacles is all about, deep roots, right? Something that you've invested in, something you've planted, something you've been waiting for. So I'm getting here for my pile number 1s. There's definitely a strong message here with the Master card. Now in this deck, this is a exclusive card to this Osho Zen Tarot deck. It doesn't exist in any other decks. It's exclusive to this deck. Okay, and the Master is kind of just that. You know, it's where you've learned to master for some of you, it could be spirituality, but what I'm really seeing here is artistic. For a large part of you, you guys have gifts. You got mad skills in something. Strengthen your gifts. But I think you were a bit of a hermit. And in your life, you were never... It feels to me like your home life, your child life, your schooling, you know, somewhere in your programming, because, you know, programming happens all of our lives, but it starts when we're very young. For some of you, there was fighting in the home, arguing, could be addictions. For some of you, this is competition, fear of competition. Look at, I'm seeing, okay, so I've got poet and strengthen your gifts, this caveman drawing on the wall, and I've got all of these people competing for this fire right here. It's like they're all fighting to get to that. And so for some of you, what I'm seeing here is that you're meant to come out of your cave with whatever your talent is. And for some of it's going to be different for all of you. You know, you could be a musician, you could be a poet, lyricist, artist, spiritual leader, because we do have the Samaritan and the Master. We've got leadership. But there's some gift that God has given you that you were not striving for. It's like I'm feeling hermiting with this tree. You know, it's like, oh, just stay in here until I grow old, you know, because this is where my foundation is. This is where my strength is. I don't have to deal with other people. It's like a waiting game. Like there was something you were meant to bring forth in this lifetime to help others, to be a leader in, with that Samaritan card and Master card. But I think you had a fear within you. And for some of you, that fear was being recognized, actually being recognized, and fear of failure, you know, afraid to reach for that fire because there were so many other people doing what you do. I struggle with this too, guys. I struggle with this every time I sit down at the table. I'm like, there are so many tarot readers. There are so many spiritual teachers on YouTube. What can I do that's different? What can I bring to the table that's not mundane or just like everybody else? And so, you know, it took me a long time to step out of my comfort zone and to be, you know, when I first started my channel, I didn't want to be on camera. I just wanted to show my hands. Then I would get all dolled up and try to look nice, and I didn't feel pretty enough. I didn't feel good enough. So Spirit really pushed me to just show up. That was such a big lesson in my life, is it doesn't matter what you're wearing. Doesn't matter what you look like. What matters is your gift. So just show up, right? And I feel like my pile number ones have really struggled to just show up because of fear of failure, fear of competition, fear of not being good enough. But, and I can't just pinpoint one artistic gift because there's going to be many people watching this. But if you picked pile number one, you're meant to be a leader and a master, to lead other people through your gifts, whatever they are for you. With poet, express soul insights in symbolic language. You could be like me. You could be readers. You could be spirit channelers, innovators, I mean, art, creativity, guys, there's no limit to what you can create if you just use your creative mind. So I think that your karmic lesson in this particular situation, whatever you set your minds and intentions on, I think it is to step out of your comfort zone and to shine like a diamond, to literally strengthen your gifts, come out of your sanctuary, stop procrastinating with the Seven of Pentacles, and bring your gifts to humanity, right? The Samaritan and the Master, leadership. And so, like I said, it's going to be different for each of you. Some of you have a fear of failure. And so you procrastinate. Or you could possibly be keeping all of your creativity, all of your gifts to yourself, you know. When I met my ex-husband, he's an artist. He had a whole portfolio full of beautiful, beautiful work that he had done. Drawings, sketchings. But he had a fear of sharing them. Literally, like he didn't want anybody else to see them. He didn't want to share them. They were kind of like his own. He had a rough childhood, and it was his way of expressing his situation. And it was personal, and it was private, and he didn't want to share it. And I used to tell him all the time, you know, you're meant for something greater than this. You're meant to be doing something with this. And other than a few projects here and there, he really never did. So I think that there's a karmic lesson in whatever relationship you're in. Your person or, you know, situation is meant to push you out of your comfort zone, meant to teach you that you're greater than what you believe you are, and that your gifts are truly God-given gifts. And, you know, so a lot of us, and I'll include myself in this, we spend a long time in our lives in relationships that don't work for us, or jobs that don't really fulfill us. And we never really reach or strive for the one thing that we know we could shine in. And so sometimes God will put people into our lives or situations. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a person, but they're put into our lives to mirror to us sometimes discomfort, you know. Sometimes they'll reinforce all of those beliefs that you have about not being good enough, or not being strong enough, or smart enough, or whatever. And so that person comes into your life to push you far enough that you just finally get mad or get glad, or whatever the situation brings to you, enough to make you do it. You know, because karma isn't always bad. We have soulmates that are karmic soulmates that come into our lives to teach us good things. You know, they build us up. They reinforce they tell us we're good enough. And so, you know, a lot of times people think karma is just, you know, negative. But I don't feel that. I feel that karma is a lesson. Karma just represents an energetic lesson that we chose to learn in this lifetime. And it's what we're here to do. So pile number one, you guys need to take a look at what you're gifted in. You know, what's your innate abilities? So many people come to me and say, I don't have any talents. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I know better. Everybody has talents. Even if your talent is just to make a hot cup of coffee for somebody who's cold. Nurturing, loving, giving, supporting, or teaching, or leading, leadership. So I think that's what pile number one is all about. Let's give you guys some advice on this, shall we? Look at that. We have this Five of Wands. And now we have surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered, hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Now this plays for me personally, you guys will have to apply it in your own life, but I'm a twin flame and I believe that we are here to bring balance back to all relationships. And so part of your lesson, part of your karma could be learning to balance your masculine and feminine energies. It's like, don't be defensive, don't be argumentative, don't be too controlling, master your emotions. Or you could be on the flip side of that distortion. Don't be too needy, don't be too codependent. Don't, close your heart off to the point that nobody can get in. Don't defend yourself to the point that nobody can see the beauty that you have to offer through your gifts, the fire that you're supposed to share, or the leadership role you're supposed to step into. It's time to come out of the cave, is what I'm hearing. It's time to come out of the cave. It's time to share with the world what it is you have that's so different than everybody else. And this next card contradicts what I just said, but I'm really still feeling it. Because it says, wait, don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. But you know what I'm hearing? Procrastination. It's what you do. Look at this, this beautiful mermaid sitting on a couch. If I were a mermaid, the last thing I would be doing is sitting on a couch. Waiting. Waiting for what? For somebody else to lead you? For somebody else to bring to you what you so greatly can go after and achieve on your own? I think it's time to quit procrastinating, is what I think. Your next card is Earth and Fire Dragon. Works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. It's time for service. When you give, you receive. See, you guys have been hoarding your gifts, hoarding your knowledge, hoarding your talent, hoarding your leadership qualities. And so this Earth and Fire Dragon is helping you to get ready for service, leadership, master, Samaritan. It's time for service. When you give, you will receive. I think you've been waiting. I think you've been strengthening your gifts, trying to master yourself. And I just had this recently with a girl that I gave a private reading to. She came to me for a deep dive, and everything I had to offer her, she's already done. And all she really needed was the confidence to get out there and apply it in her life. And yet she sits at home and feels stuck. And I told her, I said, how much pain do you have to wallow in? How much shadow work do you need to do before you're ready to take the lessons that life has taught you and just apply them in your life? And I think that's what's going on here is your karmic lesson. I think you've already learned it. I think it's time to step out of your cave. I think it's time to start bringing to the world the leadership qualities that you have and the gifts and talents that you have. Stop sitting on the couch being defensive. And you're here for a purpose. The master with leadership, Earth and Fire Dragon works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. You are laying a path, blazing. You're meant to blaze a trail. No more hiding in a cave or in a tree, waiting. I mean, look at how thick these roots are, right? Everything you need, you've already got. You've got a foundation here that nothing can rock. No tsunami or tornado is going to come along and take your tree. You're ready. That's what I'm hearing. So let's get you some advice from Spirit in a postcard from Spirit with Colette Baron Reed. It says, Dearest you, we are here on the other side, or we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth it into existence. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as others. See, you compare yourself, compete. Nor are you separate from, better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow as it will. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever. We just adore you over here. So, guys, and this is such an apropos reading. I mean, what have we been teaching in my channel for so long now? Self-love, self-worth, empowerment, leadership. And if you're a divine feminine, it's all about unconditional love. But it's got to start with you. See, this, I'm just looking at the visual that this is giving me, right? It's like here you are in your cave creating, and then it's like you're waiting. What are you waiting for? So the new template in the 5D dimension that we are creating is unconditional love. And it looks to me like if you pick pile number 1, you have a large role to play in that. And so it's time for you to stop thinking, am I ready? Have I healed enough? Am I strong enough? Can I be a leader? Have I mastered my shadow work? Because I don't think we're ever fully, completely healed. I just think there comes a time if you're not being called to hermit, because there is a time for everything, right? I've gone through some very deep diving spiritual hermiting times, especially with the whole pandemic, plandemic, whatever you want to call it. And I just feel like Spirit's giving you the okay to get the hell out and to start acting in love, creating, blazing a trail for the new 5th dimension. I think you've done your work. And you're becoming the adept. Actually, you've got the master card on the table. The only way the adept ever becomes a master is through action. It's through practice. It doesn't mean you're not going to fail once in a while. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to reevaluate, right? We got reevaluation here. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have to tweak your ideas. What it means is that it's time to go beyond the planning stage and to actually accomplish something that you were created to accomplish. So your karmic situation, whether it's a marriage, a job, a friendship, somebody who's narcissistic, these people are in your life to teach you that you don't have to lay down and let anybody else be the master of your life. And so where in your life are you still clinging to things that keep you in the cave? Because I think Spirit's trying to get you to move beyond that. Okay, close out those old cycles. I love you. I hope that resonated, my friends. I love you, love you. I'm going to pause this and write down the time and warm up my tea. Hi guys, back again. Thanks for letting me pause you. It's cold here and I wanted to get my tea warmed up. We are now moving on to pile number 2. So what is the karma or the lesson? Let's call it lesson. What is the lesson that you're meant to learn in this situation or relationship. Okay, I'm going to pull you down to your reading. I want you to set your intentions for whatever situation or relationship that you want knowledge about. And it could be life in general. Guys, use your imagination. You can choose anything. You know, it's like, what is my whole life about? Or what is this boyfriend about? Or this twin flame about? Or this job about? Or, you know, use your imagination. Here are the cards we're going to use for advice, and these are going to help me to determine what the lesson or karmic lesson is. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups, missed opportunity, Five of Pentacles, and, completion, the World. We have a shadow attribute of trickster, manipulating others through duplicity. Came out in the reverse. Oh, and we have father. Whoa, shadow attribute, dictatorial, control, abuse of authority. Intuition. I got to pull this up a little bit. It's a bit too much. Which is a number 22. We got 21, 22, 4, and 5. Embrace your power. Do what you love. An autumnal equinox release. Okay, so what is the lesson here? Well, the lesson for you guys is definitely self-empowerment. Like right off the back with that embrace your power. You're here in this situation or relationship to learn to take back your power, your control. It's how to know your self-worth, know that you're whole and complete within yourself. And I think that this situation could have been attracted by you through a trauma wound or trauma bond of abandonment. And it could be through your father, abandonment, by your father or a father figure in your life. And now that doesn't always mean that the father was a bad person, Sometimes it does, because we've got manipulating and we've got control. I think you need to forgive somebody. I think the karmic lesson is that you've been creating your life through their eyes, doing what they want. And I'm going to say they, because I don't know that it's a father. Father did come out. But it could be masculine energy. It could be a boyfriend or a relationship, because, we tend to choose men in our lives that somehow, some way, they either remind us of our father because they have attributes like them, or we choose the exact opposite because we're hoping to fulfill within us an abandonment wound where a masculine energy didn't show up in your life, or possibly showed up and left. I'm definitely getting that the lesson here is empowerment. How to know that you are complete. You're not this Five of Pentacles. You're not living. If you're living in lack, it's a belief system. That's all it is a belief system. Change your mind, change your life. I think you tend to attract into your life people that are manipulating and I can't even say that word. Dictatorial. Controllers, abusers, possibly even. I feel like you've been controlled. With this do what you love and embrace your power, completion, release. It's like intuition is here because you've been learning things. Spirit's been teaching you. You've been learning to understand and listen to your higher self. To trust your intuition. And I think that this situation came about because you were in a different vibration. You were in a lower vibration of lack. And low self-worth. And the Four of Cups for me, that's neh. It's like my tea was before I paused the video. You know, it wasn't hot enough and it wasn't cold enough. It just was neh. Four of Cups is, I don't want it. Or I don't want you. Ooh, that struck a chord. You have a tendency of chasing after things or people or situations that you know are going to reject you or abuse you or control you because you don't know your value. Or perhaps this is old energy. Maybe you do now because we have embraced your power, intuition, do what you love, release, completion. So, you know, there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this video. So you could be in any variant degree of that. But I think that you tend to choose male role models in your life that are possibly choosing everything and anybody or everybody but you. And you give and you give and you give and you give, and they're just not giving back. They just take and take and take, and they manipulate you through your emotions. They trick you into believing that somehow you're special, and you are. But you're not attracting people that truly reflect that back to you because you've been looking for somebody or something to complete you out there in the world somewhere. I don't feel whole within myself. There's something missing. It's this lack mentality. It's this feeling of being not good enough. The key to the door is right there. It's always been there. But you just have been possibly trained, or there's a belief system here that door is not for you. That door is for other people, better people, special people. And you believe that you don't fit in that class. You don't even get up and try and pick the key up and fit it in the lock. Or you didn't, because I got completion here. A lot of you guys have kicked this as right in the ass, right in the teeth is what I'm hearing. So if you recently kicked somebody in the teeth, you know, I don't recommend that, but that's what I heard in my head. So there's going to be variant degrees here. There's going to be some of you that have been abused, literally, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And if it's not, no, it is. I'm just hearing it is. And there's a release, right? Autumn. Autumn is all about letting go. And you've got a lot of autumn colors here too. Everything has a season. I feel like you guys are changing seasons. You're learning to embrace your power. You're learning to complete yourself. You're who you've been waiting for. Nothing or nobody out there is ever going to complete you if you feel incomplete within yourself. You're always going to be looking for the next best thing, the next fix, the next dopamine rush, right? Some of you guys might have addictive tendencies. But what I'm really seeing here is somebody who just, they're There's a karmic lesson here about your value, about who you are. You're a rock star. Don't ever, God does not make junk. It just doesn't. Creation is unique as a snowflake. Everybody, everything has its own unique energetic imprint on the whole. And so it's time for you to do what you love. It's time for you to trust your intuition. It's time for you to release and let go of whatever this person or this situation brought to the table. You're better than that. And people that bully or tell you you're not good enough, it's only because they're projecting onto you their own feelings. People become controlling and manipulative because they want to feel special. And so it's a vicious cycle with the world here. It's a cycle of trying to find your own self-worth. And some people do it in a more victimized way, and other people do it in a victimizer way. But it's the same core wound. Abandonment and unworthiness. And so I think that this pile here is completing this cycle and learning to embrace their own power through their intuition. That it's time to forgive and release the past, possibly forgive a father figure or a masculine in your life, and it's time to choose you. Do what you love. And know, that's the intuition, right? You got to know that they're wrong. That they're just projecting onto you these belief systems because they want to build themselves up. And, that's what we're here to change. And the fifth, we're creating the fifth dimension. No longer is it going to be patriarchal. It's not going to be, I get to the top because I had to step on everybody to get there. Oh, I'm getting the hiccups. See that? I'm telling you. Cream rises to the top, guys. You don't have to climb on anybody. And so I think you have some forgiving to do and releasing. And I'm not saying they deserve forgiveness, but I'm saying that forgiveness is for you. Sometimes the people that have harmed us the most don't even need to know that we've forgiven them. But it's more of a release, It's like, let it go. Tear up the contract. Karma is a quantum entanglement because of a debt that is owed. And so when you forgive somebody and tear up the contract, say, I forgive you over all timelines, all dimensions, forward, backward, in and out, all ways, always. And I nullify this contract. You can no longer control me or manipulate me or make me believe that I'm not whole or that I'm not good enough or that what I love doesn't matter. This is a powerful reading, guys. Let's get you some advice. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power, guys. Your power. Let others come to you. You're chasing something because you feel like there's something that you're looking for, something out there to complete you. And it could be in a relationship. It could be that you're chasing after somebody that runs. And so Spirit's saying, release that energy. It's time for you to step into your power. Let that cycle end. Focus on your own power. Let them come to you. Anything that's meant in your life is going to show up. That's been one of the hardest lessons that I've had to learn in my spiritual growth here on the ascension, is that I am whole and complete within myself. And I release anything and anybody that can't see it or that doesn't want to participate in a more beautiful version of myself. If it's meant for you, it's going to show up. And if it doesn't, let that shit go. Release it. Let it go. Do what you love. If it's meant for you, attract it. It will come. And if it doesn't, let it go. It could be a missed opportunity, but you know what? Some things are meant to just go. Use your intuition, your discernment. If it's meant for you, it will show up. We have accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way. Let heaven help you. Where are you resisting? Where are you clinging or holding on to something that Spirit's clearly telling you to let go of? And I don't believe it's necessarily a person. I believe it's going to bleed over into a person. But I believe what really needs to be released here is a belief system that you have about who you are. And when you can heal that part of you and know your value and know that you're good enough, when you release the outcome, what's meant for you is miraculously going to be magnetized to you. And look at, she's releasing. And it doesn't say anywhere on here to release. But look what she's done. It says, get out of the way and let heaven help you. So resistance, you got to release resistance. Focus on you. Do what you love. Trust your intuition. Release the outcome. That's what I'm hearing. If you want this cycle to end, you got to release the outcome. Embrace your power. No. Power. Magnets are powerful, guys. They draw magnetically to them. Everything that is meant for them. I mean, you know, magnets draw magnets. Polarity. Vibration. A magnet will not attract anything to it that is not part of its destiny or makeup or energy. It is so cold here. My tea gets cold so quick. Excuse me. We have Black Dragon. Cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. You are very protected right now. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. You guys are literally learning to change who you are. Change your belief systems. You are the caterpillar in the cocoon. You are going through a huge transformation. But I'm hearing clearly that some of you have already done this. Now you're practicing what you've learned. But others of you, you're just in the cocoon stage, right? It's time for you to learn to go within. Meditate, intuition, reflect, learn. Spirit, heaven's here to help you. You're going to get all your answers, but you're going to have to go within to get them. And you got to quit resisting what needs to be released. Wow, that sounds like, I don't mean to sound preachy, but I feel it. I feel like heaven and earth is trying to move things so that you can see clearly where you've lost faith or hope or belief in yourself. So we have a postcard from Spirit. Dear wonderful you, intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others, because I do believe you were criticized, critiqued, shamed maybe even. So it's time for you to be authentic, right? Embrace your power. Your power is you. It's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with another, and you will also be close to spirit and to us. There is amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from being intimate, and intimacy is truly empowering. Embrace your power. So may we support you wholeheartedly in this choice. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who we are with others, so share it. You will be so glad you did. So I think this is where you're headed. I don't think you're there yet. Some of you are not there yet. But this is like the outcome. When you heal your self-worth, when you let these cycles complete, when you release what no longer serves you, when you allow the metamorphosis to change you, when you trust your intuition, do what you love, empower yourself, then you're going to get to where intimacy can truly be a blessing in your life. You can trust the relationships that you attract magnetically, because you are no longer a vibrational match to the tricksters or the manipulators or the liars or the abandoners or the ones that don't show up. Spirit is telling you, we are here to help you to go into your cocoon and to change your belief systems and to learn that you are always complete within yourself. You've never needed another person to complete you. They robbed you of that belief system, whoever this situation, and I feel like it's been many people in your life that have taken your power from you, or maybe you gave it away. And we do that because we want to be loved, we want to be chosen, we want to be accepted. No more. This is what you're learning. Because intimacy is painful or has been painful in your life. Trusting people, you couldn't trust people. They were tricksters. They lied and manipulated. Gaslighted. I'm hearing gaslighted. And so when your metamorphosis or your transformation is complete, you are going to be able to be intimate with people again. And authentic. And you won't have to have fear within you of being harmed or manipulated or abused or unheard or unchosen. This is really, really, really a karmic lesson for my pile twos on how to just love yourself and to know that none of this back here was real. This was like a projector, a movie projector. That's why they say that people project onto you. It's their own stuff. It never was yours until you took it on and believed it. And so a belief system is what needs to change. I love you guys. I hope this helps in some way, shape, or form. I can't read. 4837. Okay, 4837. All right, I'm moving on to pile number 3s. Pile number 2, if you guys need help with shadow work, please reach out. This is kind of my specialty. But make sure that you haven't already done all of that for yourself and you're just afraid to get out there in the world and start using it, okay? All right, moving on to pile number 3. Pile number 3. 4009. I can't see shit. 4914. I'm changing that. Okay, 4914. All right, pile number 3s. What is, okay, so if you didn't watch the intro, what we're looking at today is what is this lesson that you are here learning in this situation with this person or this job or this lifetime or whatever you set your intentions on. What is the lesson? What is the karmic release or lesson that you're here to learn in this? All right, we're going to start with 6 of Pentacles. In this deck, it's called Equality. We have Four of Swords. Healing, taking a break. We are the world. Ten of Pentacles. Oh, that's advice. Why is that there? So, ooh, vampire. But it's in the light attribute. It says, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Look at this. Vampire. And don't you look like, look at the imagery. We have mentor. Light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. I got to do this kind of quickly here. Full moon, completion. Be decisive. Nature. I'm seeing two earths here too, and a bird's nest. So you guys could be earth signs. You're very nurturing. Shadow attribute, martyr. Addiction or self-pity. All right, so what I'm seeing here is you guys are very similar to pile number 2. There's been people in your life. You've had good mentors and bad mentors. And there have been situations, I feel, where you have actually rose to the top. You're one of these people that I've met people like this. It's like you could be very successful and look to the world like you've got everything. You're very decisive. Your leadership qualities, right? You like to mentor people. You could even be nature activists, right? With nature here. It's number 11. There's a duality to you. It's like you wear different masks with different people. And I think that this lesson is about balance for you. Balancing, because you've got people in your life that are draining you. Because natural talent does rise like cream to the top. And so your nature is to be a leader. And there's a cycle here. I'm seeing cycles that are completing for you. You're learning. I'd be willing to bet that you guys are light workers and empaths. And you seem to attract these vampire people into your life that drain your life force and energy. They take more than they give. Because of your good nature. I'm hearing nature. We are the world. You embrace people. You're a healer. You're a I feel like you guys are a great pile here. You're mentors. You're teachers, right? But occasionally you come, well, not occasionally. Spirit's saying quite often you come across these energetic vampires that leave you feeling like you need to disconnect. You need to regroup. You need to fulfill your energy again, right? For me, I take 3-hour baths. So whatever situation you're thinking about, if it's a person, Spirit's saying this person's draining you. They're using you for your light. And if it's not a person, if it's a situation where you're a teacher or you're helping other people and you come home exhausted, you feel like your energy's been taken from you, be careful about some of you guys, actually, this addiction or self-pity, I don't even know that that's your energy. I'm feeling like that's people around you. You attract people that have addictive behaviors. They're vampires, energy vampires. They're looking for you to complete them. And your nature is to be this teacher and leader, but they're depleting you of your energy. So I think that your lesson is, in this karmic situation, is to guard your energy and to try to have more healthy boundaries. You know, if it's in your job or workplace and you have to deal with people, maybe you're a counselor, then you're going to have to take up some practices, get out in nature, You're going to have to find ways to clear your energy or to protect yourself. Call in your team, right? I'm curious to see what your advice is going to be. You're meant to be a teacher or a mentor, and you might be dealing with people that are vampires. It might be your job. It might be what you chose to do, right? It's how you make your money. 10 of Pentacles is working with others. I don't believe there's a huge karma here. I think that you guys basically are being told that your energy, this situation is draining you of your energy, and there's one of two things you can do. Completion. You can leave it, or you can take up practices, Four of Swords, that spiritual practices of cleansing your energetic field, and use crystals, use intention. I don't know. Let's see what your advice is, because clearly I'm getting here that you're decisive. You're very giving and nurturing. You help people heal. But I think you're an empath, and I think that you're absorbing other people's energy, negativity, and it's tiresome. And there are days when you think, do I really want to be here anymore? Do I really want to murder myself to mentor these people? In order to choose, be decisive. You're going to have to weigh the pros and cons here, because I feel like this is part of your gifts and talents, but maybe you're applying them in the wrong field. Maybe you could move into a different field where there isn't so much negativity. Let's see what your advice is. Explore your options. What did I just say? This is your gift. It's what you're meant to be doing, but maybe not in the environment that you're in. Six of Pentacles, find a more balanced place to do your work. Explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. Completion. Be decisive. Golden Christed Dragon brings your higher love so that you embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. See, I feel like you guys just are light workers, and you tend to be empathically drawn to lower vibrational people because they want healed. They're looking to take your light. And so when you embody the Christ light, you can share that, but you don't let people steal it from you. You don't let people plug into your light and drain it from you. So absorb the Christ light. You are protected. You need more protection. And you might need to find a different job or situation or relationship where you're not constantly the light for others, which is, there's a conundrum there, because you are meant to be the light for others, but not for others that just use you or take from you, but those who are truly wanting to heal and not just wanting to have you. I've been in relationships. I've been in friendships where people will call me up and tap into my light when they're feeling negative or depleted or tired, and they want me to build them up, and that is my job. That is my passion, right? But there are those that truly take that light and apply it in their life, and they hold it within them for much long. They're learning to hold it longer and longer and longer. And then there are those that will just go out and deplete it all and come back for their next fix. And so energy vampires are a real thing, guys. So, and then you've got surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So I think that you guys are used to people using you. And so there's a balance that needs to be struck between being guarded and untouchable and open and giving. And so whatever the situation is, it might be time for you to move away from it so that you can feel comfortable with the people that you're with. You can feel intimate. You can share. What is your postcard? We have, dearest you, We know everything in the universe is perfect, even in its flaws, and we view the creation of spirit in total awe. All is unique, yet part of a unity of existence. But the human experience is a little different from ours. You tend to have a specific standard for what you consider ideal, and this isn't serving you right now. So forget your idea of perfection and see through our eyes, allowing things to be as they truly are without judgment. Don't wait until a perfect moment or mood to start something. Instead, enter life with all its flawsomeness. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Let others be who they are too, imperfect and human, complex or simple. It doesn't matter, for there is always something to discover, experience, and love. When you drop the need for an ideal, you uncover the real treasure, which will be far more interesting and valuable. And what I'm hearing for you is that whatever this situation is that you came here to find out what the karmic lesson is, you have an ideal of who you are and what you represent and what you're meant to accomplish in this world. And yet Spirit might be trying to show you that yes, that is your mission, but maybe not with the people that you have allowed in. So it's time to take a look at who goes and who stays. Who lets you be authentic and who drains your energy? And are you procrastinating? Maybe you've been being told by Spirit for a while now. Be decisive. Make a choice. Explore your options and make a choice. Something here needs to end. Completion. So guys, the karma or the lesson is don't let your ego keep you in situations where you think you are. Don't martyr yourself. I know this feeling all too well. When you're a light worker, you want to save everybody. And Spirit says that's ego. Not everybody incarnated at this time to be saved. Save the ones that want to be saved. Save the ones that seek you out. Save the ones that truly want the healing. And allow the vampires to just kind of find somebody else to steal light from. Or hopefully heal themselves so they can live in their own light. All right, pile 3, that was your reading. I love you guys. These have been very interesting. Every time I sit down to the table, I'm trying to come up with new ideas on how to do this. And it's amazing how Spirit comes through. So I love you. Namaste. I got to go pick my kid up. Love you.